Hey, it's Clay. Hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be the first video of a frequently asked questions series I wanted to start. So I opened up a new email address. It's called kleysquestions@gmail.com. And I've gotten some nice questions so far. And what I wanted to do is take some of the ones that I figured were a little bit more generalized and something that could pertain to a lot of different people that I've seen from a lot of different places, and try to answer it in a video that could be more explanatory for a number of different people. So, one of the questions that I got was, the basic idea was, I'm an acoustic player and I'm transitioning to electric. Sorry about the shaking, Nora's helping me. Hi. And so I'm an acoustic player, I'm transitioning to electric. How does that work, or how does that play differently? And that's a really good question, because when I started off on acoustic. So when I was learning to play, I learned, I think a lot of people start off with some of those chords down by the nut, and they're just playing electric is a little bit of a different instrument. So let's break electric down. I'm going to break it down into three specific areas, and one is going to be rhythm. Now we're going to come back to this and spend some more time on it, but you spend a lot of the time on electric playing rhythm, which is similar on acoustic. You play a lot of rhythm on acoustic as well, but on electric your rhythm is maybe going to be a little bit different, and you can kind of cover some more ground, but that is one of the areas you play. Secondly is you want to play lead lines. So songs might have a lead hook or a riff or a melody that you want to learn, and you can kind of step out to the front and play some lead stuff there. And then thirdly is you want to fill into some more of like a, I kind of call it where you're copying other instruments. That could be for more of an ambient type thing, and a lot of praise and worship stuff that I play. That happens a lot, where you kind of want to fill some space behind something that's kind of calm or introspective, that type of thing. But a lot of times guitarists will cover a lot of different things. Guitars have pedals, and there's just a lot of different sounds you can cover with that. So you can spend some time kind of mastering that and covering different sounds. So let's kind of work backwards. With some of the more atmospheric stuff, really that is a lot about learning how your effects pedals work and how to manipulate them in such a way as to get the sounds you want. So one of the things that I'll do is I will run multiple delays and reverbs. So delay and reverb is one of the ways that you can kind of create some more key type textures. So I'll stack 2 delays and 2 reverbs and just really wash it out. A lot of different things you can do there, and really that's more just about getting to know your equipment and what it's all capable of doing. Secondly, with the lead parts, so that kind of gets into there needs to be some mechanics there in terms of being able to play scales and knowing some of the music theory. A lot of the stuff that I play in a praise and worship setting is relatively simple and straightforward, and so it isn't terribly complex and crazy, but it just takes a little bit of practice. And then what I really kind of spent some time on is with some of the more rhythm stuff. So I'm going to play an example of a passage that we did this morning, and kind of talk about how I would approach it both on acoustic and on electric, because I think that's helpful. So the chord progression is going to be G, E minor, D, C. Honestly, that chord progression could probably fit a lot of different songs. If you flip those chords around, you could probably play just about anything. But it'd be like... So on acoustic, I play it like that. It's using a lot of open, very chords that really ring out, and you're using a lot of open strings. You're playing 5 or 6 strings for most of those chords, and it sounds really good. On acoustic, you want to have that big open sound. Acoustic is a very percussive instrument, and so you get that nice mix of both open chords, but also percussion to drive the song. Sounds really good. Now on electric, I would probably approach that very differently, and I want to explain why. So on electric, you typically have a lot more signal going through. On an acoustic, you're just kind of trying to capture that sound and send it through. But on an electric, why don't I just, we'll stay on the acoustic and I'll just try to display it. So on the electric, you don't have that. The guitar itself, the body, doesn't make a lot of noise. It's more about the pickups. And then you drive that signal with stomp boxes and an amp that's usually pretty hot. So you have a lot more going on there in terms of boosting that signal. So with the electric, I think a general rule of thumb is that you want to try to be a lot more direct. So instead of playing your G like this, with all 6 of these strings ringing out, I might play it like this. So this is just a basic power chord. I'm on the D, G, and B strings, going 5, 7, 8. You can play the same notes right here. But so this is just an example of a power chord, and I would recommend trying to learn power chords across the entire neck. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can play a power chord here, you can play it up here, play it down here. All of those are examples of G power chords. And I cover that in some other lessons, so I'll leave a link of that in the description. But the basic idea is that with this kind of a chord, you're only playing 3 notes where it's just a lot more direct and it's a lot more pure. And so you're allowing because your signal's getting boosted elsewhere, it becomes a lot bigger. Whereas if you play this big G chord, and your acoustic is playing that, and maybe the keys are playing a G, and the bass is playing a G, everything just kind of gets a little bit muffled. So on electric, if I play that progression, it was what, G, E minor, D, C. I'm just going to try to make something up here. So I might do, so this is how I play it on acoustic, and on electric. So I'm making use of some voicings here. This power chord 5, 7, 8. For the E minor, I was playing this chord, which is mute. Then the A string 7, mute. 9, 8, mute. So this is like a version of this chord, but I'm only playing part of it. 7, skip your D string, G string, 9, and then 8 on the B. So it's just these 3 notes. And then for the D chord, I was playing this, which is a version of this chord. But I'm just playing the A, G, and B strings, 5, 7, 7. And then the C is the same shape, 2 frets lower. So what it does is it makes your entire band sound a lot bigger because as an electric, you're fitting in with the acoustic and the other instruments a lot better. So that's the general idea, though, is try to find voicings for your chords that are a lot better suited for your instrument. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, please send it to the email address kleysquestions@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.